Hiya! So, we're going to start reading our new book, Sandman and the Turtle. I loved reading your comments on the below the first post. So we had some children. Jacob thought these children, they were going on to the turtles and they're going off to another island. Caden thought they were going on the turtles to meet the Sandman. Samuel thinks it's going to be a great story. And it's about some turtles that land on a beach and then take the children to an island where they're going to see the Sandman. So similar idea to his brother there. And then we had Lily thinking that the people go to the beach every day because they live near it and they're going to make a Sandman and the Sandman is going to come to life. So we're going to have to wait and see. But shall we start our story? Okay, chapter 1. You can keep Christmases, birthdays and all of that. For me, the high time of the year was always my summer holidays at Tregennis Isaf. Uncle Rob and Auntie Ellery's farm down by the sea in Wales. It was a place of clambering rocks, ratty barns and a field of shifting sheep and uddery cows. You could pick up warm eggs. You could clean down the milking parlour. And all around were the cliffs and beaches where we basked and swam with seals, where we watched killer whales and porpoises. What does basked mean? Does anybody know? Have you heard that before? Where we basked and swam with the seals. Have a think. It means that we lie around in the sun, enjoying the sunshine. Sounds beautiful, doesn't it? I wish we could go to the beach at the moment. Well, for a city boy like me, it was paradise, and I never wanted anything better. Nothing could have been better. You could lean against the wind on Buzzard Rock, you could loll laughing in the fields, fly Barry's yellow kite, or race his battered boats across the duck pond. Every year was the best, but the best of all was the summer of the Sandman, the giant turtles, and the great grey cucumber. Okay. The summer of the Sandman, the giant turtles, and the great grey cucumber. So it kind of links to what some of your ideas were. I wonder if you might be right. I arrived as usual by train, and Auntie Ellery was there to pick me up, all smiles and kisses and smelling of milk. Why do you think she might have smelt of milk? Where does she live? On the farm. But there was no Barry. I soon found out why. Only happened yesterday morning, she said, fighting with the gear lever. Playing football he was at the top field with his dar. You know, the rocky field beyond the sheep dip pit. Tripped and broke his leg in 2 places. Nasty. Plastered he is all the way up, and he's got 6 stitches in his head. Blood all over the place. Concussion maybe. We've got to keep him quiet for a couple of days. She patted my knee. There we are then, you're here now. That'll cheer him up. It was a blow. Barry was my cousin, of course, but he was also my best friend in the world. Like 2 sides of a coin we were, but as different as chalk and cheese. Why do you think they're different? Any guesses? Should we find out? Barry was a head taller than me, ran faster and knew where and how to catch fish. He could sweeten up a fox just by whistling through his throat like a screaming rabbit, and no one played practical jokes like Barry. No one. As for me, I read a lot of books, played chess like a Russian master, and could say the alphabet backwards in less than 4 seconds flat. So can you remember why they were different as chalk and cheese? See if you can write why in the comments for me. Auntie Ellery talked all the way back to the farm, but I never heard a word. I was wondering what I was going to do with myself for the whole month with Barry's leg in plaster. There we are now, she said. We're home. Polly came skipping out to the car as we pulled up outside the house. Polly was Barry's little sister. Only 7 years old she was, and bouncy like a puppy. She was maybe a little bigger than the year before, but not much. And I noticed she was missing her 2 top front teeth. She took my hand at once and dragged me off. Barry's busted his leg, she said cheerfully. Barry was propped up on the sitting room sofa in his pyjamas. His great white leg seemed twice as long as the other one and twice as fat too. He wiggled his chalky toes at me. "Hello, Mike," he said, grinning. "I've bust me leg." And he patted the plaster. So I see," I said. "Dar's fault," he went on. "He tripped me." Who do you think Dar is? Any ideas? "He never," Polly said. "I won't tell you what Barry said, but I felt home already." Tea time brought Uncle Rob and Dadsy in. Dadsy? Dar? All these different names. Tea time brought Uncle Rob and Dadsy in from the fields, and Auntie Ellery had made a tea of Welsh cakes and scones and raspberry jam and cream. I never liked the first meal, though. I suppose I always felt a bit awkward. They all kept asking me questions about Mum, about school, except for Dadsy. That's my grandfather, who just smiled at me and pushed the cream closer. "Eat up now, Michael, there's a good boy," he said. "We'll fatten you up if it's the last thing we do." Later it was Polly's bath time, and she came down in her primrose dressing gown with the blue butterflies. All pink and clean she was, and she said she'd have her story now. "What about her, please, then?" said Dadsy, frowning at her. "Please," said Polly sweetly. Dadsy was about the only one who could make her behave. Stories at Tregennis were like a long, happy sigh at the end of each day. You sat on Dadsy's lap in a deep brown armchair with the stuffing coming out of the arms, and he'd always begin, "Let me see now." Of course, I was too old to sit on his lap. It was Polly's turn these days, but I listened just the same. Everyone did. We all knew every word, every sentence of every story, but you never tired of them because he told them like he was telling them for the first time, like they were really true, and you could join in whenever you liked. We were all there that evening when Dadsy began the story of the Sandman. There you go. All about those rocks down on the white sands beach that looked like a great fat giant sleeping asleep in the sand. So he all snored noisily. He fell asleep there thousands and thousands of years ago after a terrible storm-tossed journey across from Ireland in a huge coracle pulled by 3 giant turtles. Anyone know what a coracle is? I had to look that one up. It's a small round boat. Now, there's not too many who know this, children, but if you stay still in one place for long enough, you turn into rock. True now. We all froze stiff where we were. And that's just what happened to the Sandman and the 3 giant turtles. They turned into the 3 turtle rocks out in the bay, and his huge great coracle, the one that was wrecked in the storm, well, we all know what became of that, don't we? And we all nodded and chorused, "Coracle Island!" Dadsy went on, "They've none of them moved a muscle in thousands of years, and that's how they'll stay until the Sandman wakes up. And just as soon as he wakes up, and one day he will, he'll want to go back home to Ireland where he belongs. Fair play. But the thing is, children, he'll only wake up when he feels someone loves him enough to feed him and look after him and help him home to Ireland." "I will," said Polly. "Course you will," Dadsy said, and he laughed and lit his pipe. So, do you think Dadsy's story's true? What do you think the Sandman and the turtles look like? Could you draw a picture? You could do it in your book or on Purple Mash. It's entirely up to you. If you do it in your book, you could ask your grown-up to take a photo and send it to us in the emails. It'd be great to see them. We're going to stop the story there and leave you thinking about what the Sandman looks like and whether this is true and why or why not you think the story of the Sandman and the 3 turtles is true. Okay, I'll come back tomorrow and read you another part of our book. Take care. See you soon. Bye.